All right, Nick. Here we are. Guess we have some things to talk about tonight. There's that. That's positive. Don't know. Hopefully we have an opportunity to talk about some great things that are about to happen. But Reds are down 5-4. We're just up 4-3, by the way.
Nate Lowe, Tyler Stevenson, TJ Friedl do up.
That's right.
Against Jaron Duran.
Has anything come a longer way in America over the last 10 years than the closer entrance into a game? Some are asking. Quite the spectacle that we've made this in Major League Baseball of the guy running out of the bullpen with the light shows and the songs and everything else that comes with it.
They put the wrong graphic up. I was like, wait, that. Phillies closer Jaron Duran, 1.54 ERA in his last 12 games, a perfect 7 for 7 in save chances this season.
Gotcha.
What money can buy you?
Did have a kind soul ask about our audio levels on YouTube of all things, obviously, and so in the chat, if you don't mind, if one of us
you're not loud enough, I can tell you.
Is that what it is? I'll fix that right now. But if
I
the
believe
chat would
so.
let me know,
Check-in.
just let me know. I mean, I can turn myself up. That should help. How much? I don't know.
Sounds good. It's hard to tell, though.
My favorite thing is that there are certain people in the chat that are just like, yeah, the audio's fine, and then there's folks that probably listen with their headphones on or something, and they have a ear for audio, and they want to let you know that, hey, it could be better. So we try to make it better. I just got to be honest with you. I wouldn't consider myself a pro at that.
Got a little Game 7 hockey on tonight, Trace.
Do you? That's where you're cultured. I'm just not. I wish I knew that existed, and I probably would have been watching it. What period are we in?
Montreal 2-1 over the Sabres. Second period, 6:30 left. Sabres just scored.
Okay.
So a little establishment 2-1. Yeah, it was a little establishment last weekend. Sat next to a Sabres fan. I was really into the game. I was just like, man, I wish I had like that. That's like the one sport I kind of wish I was more into.
Just what you need, Nick. Another fandom.
Not what I need. Not what I think I should have just done hockey instead of baseball, to be honest.
I mean, I think that there'd be a decent amount of the chat that would jump ship over to another. We could just start to kind of like bandwagon this thing at some point.
That
possibly.
team will tank so fast.
I mean, we could just do like a poll in the chat for like a week straight with just a list of teams that have at least a 40% chance or higher probability to make the postseason. And we just find which one that is, and we'll just all jump on and follow along for the rest of 2026.
There you go.
And when we do, so instead of Reds MILB, it'll actually just be the Reds. It'll just be like, let's check in on what happened tonight with the Reds. Oh, there it is. Bullpen blows another one. TJ Friedl goes 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And Spencer Steer gets a big hit. That's that. That's just a good pitch.
Oh, what a great at-bat. 10 pitches. Oh.
I mean, that's a nasty pitch, Nick.
Yeah,
that pitch starts at the middle of the zone, and then it just fell down.
No, I'm not hating on Lowe. I'm heartbroken for
I get
Lowe.
it, yeah. You wish it would have turned out better.
The guy grinded. I mean, the guy poured his heart and soul into that at-bat.
Yes.
Tyler Stevenson not poured his heart and soul into this.
Well, let's give him some time. He still has time to turn it around. The first swing didn't look like one in which we want to be overly excited about. And that one's out. All right.
Oh, God, what a pitch. Oh.
The good news is we have Murder's Row coming up behind Stevenson, just in case perhaps we can get through through him. I mean, just good night. Good night, Irene. Take care.
You gonna let Friedel hit here?
Oh, we gotta let Friedel hit here, yeah. If he hits a home run here, I'll never say another bad word for him. Word out on Friedel is just throw balls.
Or right down the middle. He got them both today. That's a good pitch. Ay.
Listen, if there was ever a time for TJ to get like 3 months extended playing time, this would be the time to get a hit. How many home runs does Friedel have?
2, I think.
2. Oh, a fastball. 102, though, to be fair. Pretty fast. Right down the middle, but it was...
2 home runs.
It was fast. Tell you what, if I'm Will Benson, I'm not standing that close to the plate when the guy's throwing him 102, and I just seen that last swing. Yeah, that's gonna throw it away. No, of course not. Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll do our best. I mean, you're asking a lot, but we'll do our best.
He scored! Oh my God! Can you believe it? Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep.
In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Foster. The Reds win the pennant.
Perkins won the game. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none. Welcome Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again.
Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
If you're ever in a time of despair or need and you feel as if things aren't going your way and you start to question things and you wonder there's really possibly no way out, you can always text and or call 988 day or night, 24/7, anonymously, hotline. Could also just be a fan of the Reds, and after about 5 to 10 years of enduring what you have to endure as being a Reds fan, you typically build up some pretty thick skin. Nick, I don't know. I really don't know what people want out of this show right now. I'm doing my best to be at least insightful, entertaining, honest, truthful, and the more honest and truth that comes out of my mouth, the more it makes me feel like I'm devaluing the thing in which we do on a daily basis, which is talk about Cincinnati Reds baseball. And all of that combined makes it really hard to put a show together because you're in a little bit of a predicament, right? You can sit here and try to act as if things will turn around and this team's good enough to be, worth watching on a nightly basis. You can scream and yell about everything that's wrong with this franchise as a whole, but we've kind of done that from time to time on the vast majority of, nights like, tonight and the night before and the night after that one and the night before that one and 10 of the last 13 nights we had a chance to complain about those things. So I don't know what to do, Nick. I really don't. You have a left-hander warming in the bullpen. You have a left-handed hitter at the plate. You don't bring in the left-handed guy in to face the left-handed hitter. I mean, listen, Matt McClain did get a good swing today, but again, I look at the lineup card before the game starts, and I'm just like, I just honestly have given up. I laugh. And like the lineup isn't even really like that big of a deal. And I want to make that abundantly clear that I don't think that just because they put a lineup together that I would like them to put together would automatically turn them into a 87 or 88 win team. It's just, again, it feels like, though, that we are doing the same thing over and over again. And we get contradictory statements. And we said just 4 days ago, I think at this point, that we weren't going to play lineup bingo because that's just not what we do. And honest to God, that's what we've done since he made that statement. So I don't know. Where do you go from here, Nick?
I don't know. The offensive team has played pretty decent. I mean, their last however many games this is 5 runs, 4 runs, 7 runs, 15 runs, 7 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs. Probably would have expected more than 2 wins out of that stretch. But that's just kind of where things are going right now.
Trying to be careful what I say here. It's something that we have not felt or really had to discuss on a nightly basis outside of 2023 while doing this show, which is the pitching's letting us down. Like, they've been so good for the last 2 years, and they've been the only real reason that this team's been competitive, that they've even masked some of the frustration we've had in I think in years past a little bit by the lack of production that we got from the offense. But boy, oh boy, could you imagine a world where the offense actually does pick it up a little bit and you still lose because the bullpen is inept and your starting pitching is as shaky as I've ever remember it being since we even have started this show. Yes, I know back in 2023 it got a little absurd there for a minute. Guys like Kennedy getting starts, and you bring Williamson up when he had a horrific AAA, start to the year. And you had Weaver out there doing his best. And I guess now you find yourself in 2026 where there's really not a whole lot of hope that I have with the staff as a whole. If it's not the starters that are going to probably blow it, it'll be the bullpen and or vice versa. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, the Reds entered today 25th in Major League Baseball in starting pitching ERA and 27th in reliever ERA. Like, I mean, if I would have told you that 2 months ago, would you have thought this team had a chance? Yeah. No. Like, it's really that simple. The pitching has been terrible.
Yeah. No, it's. And I don't know. I mean, obviously Graham Ashcraft is going to be blamed in a game like this where you give up a 2-run home run. But again, like, I don't know. Like, do you want to save some of this for the show, I guess? Because we might as well. There's only going to be, like, only so many topics to cover here. So, once again, shout out to Sharefax for holding it down with the box score recap. But I guess you can share what we just witnessed, Nick.
All right, Chatterbox Reds brought to you by Sharefax Credit Union. With weather finally cooperating, it's time to start those home renovations. Sharefax has a $0 closing cost until May 31st for home equity loans and lines of credit. Restrictions apply. Contact Sharefax for details at 513-753-2440 or visit sharefax.org. Sharefax Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and insured by NCUA. All right, Reds taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, game 1 of 3 at Citizens Bank Park. Nick Lodolo going up against one of the top prospects in baseball entering the season, Andrew Painter. In the bottom of the first, Nick Lodolo gave up a leadoff double to Trey Turner, walked the next 2 batters, and then would end up giving up a pair of sac flies to make it 2-0 Phillies. But in the top of the second, Reds got those runs right back. Sal Stewart, Nathaniel Lowe, and Tyler Stevenson hit 3 straight singles, and TJ Friedel hit a sac fly to tie the game at 2. Nick Lodolo would give up a go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th to Alec Bohm, but that would be the only damage the rest of the way for Lodolo. Lodolo somehow kept this game close despite walking 4 batters and hitting another batter. TJ Antone bailed him out with a weak ground out to strand the bases loaded in the 6th. Final line for Nick Lodolo, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Andrew Painter, shout out to him. He got through 6 innings for the first time in his big league career, and he only needed 69 pitches to do so. He retired the final 10 Reds batters that he faced. But in the top of the 7th, Sal Stewart greeted the Phillies bullpen and Brad Keller with a solo bomb to tie the game. First home run in 10 games for Sal Stewart and just the second in his last 21 games. Graham Ashcraft threw a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th against Marsh, Turner, and Harper. Top of the 8th, Matt McLain singled with 1 out. McLain stole second base then with 2 outs. Phillies elected to leave in their lefty to pitch to Spencer Sear with the bases loaded, and he made them pay with a double for 3 Reds. Bottom of the 8th, Graham Ashcraft stayed in for a second inning of work. He gave up a leadoff single, but he got the next 2 batters out, one of them on a maybe somewhat controversial non-double play that the Reds were unable to turn when a runner slid into Matt McLain. Terry Francona elected to stick with Ashcraft against the left-handed batter Bryson Stott with Brock Burt warming up, and Stott hit a 2-run home run to give the Phillies a 5-4 lead. Reds went 1-2-3 in the 9th, and after a 20-11 start to the season, the Reds are now 500 at 24-24. Reds are 4-13 in their last 17 games.
All right, we did have a deep drive of the day. Sal Stewart, did he catch back up with the league? Some are asking. The league caught up to him. Is he catching back up to the league? I don't know. Sal Stewart, his 11th home run of the year. Don't know what more you can ask out of a rookie that ultimately could have been a big nothing burger. We like using that word on this show. But he's actually turned out to be all right, hasn't he? 11th of the year, 101 off the bat, 361 feet. That would tie the game 3-3, and it would jump the win probability up to 50%. A good old coin flip. Well, we called heads, and it was tails. We'd wind up losing anyways. But I got news for you. The deep drive of the day is sponsored by QC Kinetix, and if knee pain or shoulder pain is slowing you down, whether it's on the golf course, the pickleball court, or even the gym, it might be time to talk to the care team at QC Kinetix Cincinnati about regenerative medicine options. QC Kinetix takes a different approach, focusing on treatments designed to help your body heal and recover. They're conveniently located in Liberty Township, right across from Lakota East High School. You can see what the care team at QC Kinetix is all about by going to qckinetix.com or calling 513-655-3356. All right. Let's get into, I don't know. You want to start with the pen blowing it? You want to start with Nick Lodolo? Ultimately, I think that
Who cares?
The blame goes on both. I mean, listen, Nick Lodolo's got to be better too. Like, he just doesn't get off the hook. Can't walk as many guys as he did and expect things to go well. 5 walks in 5 2/3 innings, gives up 3 hits, 3 earned, 1 homer. Not a very good day at the office. And yeah, I guess we're putting maybe a little too much onus on the fact that we need him to be good, but the truth is that before the year starts, he's one of the mainstays at the top of the rotation that you expect to be good. And ultimately, you know what's sad is I feel like we've gotten to a position now with Nick Lodolo that if he just finishes the damn game and he doesn't have a blister issue, honestly, most people are probably like, yeah, well, and it can't be. I mean, it's not that bad. He's not on the IL again. I don't know what more is there to say about the fact that he's going to have to be the Nick Lodolo of old for this team to even be relevant. Not to be good, Nick. Not to even be a postseason team, but to be relevant, he has to be good. And he's not been good. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He's just not the same pitcher that he was in years prior. And maybe it'll change. And again, maybe people think that I'm holding him too high of an expectation because he's just got back. But that's where this team is. They're in a dire situation where they need as much help as they can, and we can't throw the ball over the plate yet again. And we can get into the bullpen here in a second, but I want to start with Lodolo. I think you mentioned it maybe when we were getting off the air or when we were off the air that, like, if all the things that we need tomorrow, like, we need Nick Lodolo to have a good start just so we could feel like he might be the guy of old.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, when we're going in the 8th inning, we're about to do a show, thinking, hey, maybe the Reds will pull this out. One of the things I was going to say is throw the Reds one, but Nick Lodolo not pitching well doesn't really change a whole lot about, like, right now my overall feelings about where the Reds are. And just not throwing his, like, breaking pitches for in the zone at all. His changeup 31% in the zone, curveball only 38% in the zone. And I don't think the Phillies were really biting on it. He didn't give up a ton of hard contact. He only gave up, I think, 4 hard hit balls in the game. So that's a positive, but he only had 7 swing and misses. Like, Nick Lodolo only getting 7 swing and misses. This might have been an all-time StatCast game for swing and misses because the Phillies starter only had 3. Yeah. Crazy game. Like, I would love to do some digging on that and see kind of where this game has to be one of the, like, fewest swing and miss games in a long time. At least for the Reds. But, he hasn't been – I mean, this was, like, I guess a little better, but, I mean, like, you didn't trade this guy. He needs to be, like, a top of the rotation starter. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you held on to him basically just because you thought that you had a 1-2 punch with Hunter Green, and neither one of them have been around. And it's not too late. Like, that's the other thing I would say. It's not too late for this team to theoretically turn it around and get into a position where, they have a chance to make the postseason. But we're starting to get closer and closer. And honestly, the good fortune that we've created over the first month when I was extremely excited and I kept telling people, like, this is stealing money. Like, we've stolen so much money at this point that it's going to be kind of, obviously hindsight 2020 now, but back then it was like, it's going to be kind of hard to blow all this money this fast. And boy, oh boy, we took no financial classes because we blew it overnight. I mean, not even a month later, Nick, we have quite literally squandered that unbelievably, I'll call it, lucky start to the season that we had. And I think it's easy to say lucky now. People are going to think I'm just saying that because of the win-loss record. I don't mean it just because we're 500 now and this team's not good. I mean, while we were winning in very fortunate ways. Not because we weren't better than the other team or nothing like that. It was just happen chance that they were 12-0 at one time in one-run games, 14-0 in one-run games or extra inning games, and now you find yourself 24-24 after the world-famous 20-11 start. I look over, Nick, and we're going to talk about the bullpen next, but I got to get this out on the front end of the show here. It is kind of funny when I look over and I see the first headline of this game is the efficient painter goes 6 innings for the first time in his major league career. That's great. I mean, that's just how it goes with the Reds. If you need a record or you need a career best, you need to face the Cincinnati Reds. That is what you need. And so shout out to him for that. We'll talk about the offense in just a minute. Let's get into the bullpen. They obviously really, I don't know how many guys they trust anymore. How could you trust anybody, to be honest, anymore? But I don't know who they were going to go to. Maybe they showed it on the broadcast while we were setting up for the show, and we were obviously doing the live watch-along, so we don't hear the game. I don't know who they were going to go to if they found themselves in a closed situation. The easy answer looks like it could have been Santillan of all guys, which is hilarious in a little bit of a way. But I don't know. I mean, you're obviously asking Ashcraft to go out there and get you more than just one inning's worth of outs. But that's probably the biggest decision that you could second guess Tito with, is that you had a left-handed hitter at the plate. You decided to keep Ashcraft in, and ultimately he made you pay for it.
I give zero blame to Graham Ashcraft. The guy got 5 outs. Like that in this bullpen right now in this economy, like, you did your job. Like, it's the manager's job to go to the lefty against the left-handed batter. Like, I have zero blame for Graham Ashcraft. He did a hell of a job tonight. Gave the Reds a chance to win this game. The manager needs to be better. Period. End of story. But why did you trade for Brock Burke not to bring him in against a left-handed batter with 2 outs? You needed 1 out to get out of the inning.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's a question he's going to have to answer. Maybe he's already answered in the post-game press conference. I don't know. I mean, to be blunt, I don't know the splits right here in front of me, but obviously when you have lefty,
it's not drastic, but he's about 30 points lower against lefties. But it's left on left. I mean, Brock Burke is a solid pitcher, like, especially left on left. I mean, and Ashcraft has gotten 5 outs. Like, take what you got. Like, it was pushing it. I think it was managing scare, because I think it felt like Ashcraft was throwing strikes, didn't want to. I think that's what it was. But I didn't agree with it before it happened. And I'm not a guy I will never second guess a manager's move if I wouldn't have second guessed it before it happened. You go to your lefty there. You have to trust Brock Burke in that spot.
Tony Santillan's closing the 9th inning. I mean, that's who. Listen, I'm not trying to get into a huge hypothetical show here, but I'm just trying to show how piss poor this bullpen has become. Graham Ashcraft's one of the few guys that I would say is like, I mean, like, that's so let me get this out of the way. Like, there's only a couple guys when they come out of the bullpen where I feel actually like, okay, I can probably live with what's getting ready to happen. Ashcraft obviously walking the world in Cleveland didn't help the cause for most fans and the way they probably perceive him. But if you've watched on a daily basis, I think Graham Ashcraft, for the most part, you got to say, he's been really, really good this year. I get the concept that maybe you've seen a guy throwing strikes, you don't want to make another move because you've seen how bad this bullpen has been. But I guess my next question would be is if you're concerned about making the move to go lefty on lefty because you are worried about making a move for the fact that whoever you bring in is a wild card and they might walk the world, who's coming in the 9th inning? Who's the closer?
Didn't matter. You didn't have to pitch the 9th inning because the guy gave up a 2-run home run.
I get that, but I am saying in general terms now.
It's the bottom of the order. It's Real Muto, who has a 585 OPS right now. Crawford, who's played about 10 big league games. And then they had pinch hit Brandon Marsh, I think, before. They could have stuck with Burke again. The Phillies are terrible against lefties.
To be clear, I am not suggesting that he's off the hook because of what happened, what was going to happen in the closer spot. I'm just saying right now, this is how bad the bullpen is that we were going to probably rely on Santillan or Burke to get what should have been 4 outs at the end of the game. Like, we're just in a really, really bad spot right now for the bullpen, and I don't know. I guess I'm not breaking any news, and I'm not really illustrating a point that leads to something bigger other than this team. This team is just hot trash right now, man. I wish I could bring better news, but you almost need your manager to be perfect if you do have a team that's lacking. Like, you can't be making mistakes when it comes to just some basic baseball fundamental things that you probably should do, and that happened tonight. I mean, Tito wore one. And I'm sure he'll come up with an answer as to why he left Ashcraft in there. I don't know we'll find out what that is. Until we hear the reasoning.
Why did Brock Burke get warming up? Why was he warming up if he's not going to come in with a lefty with 2 outs? Like, why was he warming up? What's the purpose? Was he just bored? Like, he was warming up. There's 2 outs. There's a left-handed batter. I don't understand it. He ended up coming in anyways. Crazy. That's just crazy stuff. Like,
all right, we have some supers to get to, and then we're going to talk about God knows what. Tim Barnes says, I'm still here. My entire section's chanting, Reds suck. They're not wrong. Could have seen it coming from a mile away. I don't know why I'm coming tomorrow, but I am. That's right, Tim. Because you're a sucker, like the rest of us. Flat Rock 79 says, things are going to change. I can feel it. I don't know what that is. I could be saying something completely inappropriate, so I don't sign off on what I'm about to say, but he did super chat it, so I'm going to say it. Soin un parador. No idea. That's probably the worst pronunciation that's ever happened in the history of Chatterbox, and we have some pretty bad pronunciations. Vandy5140 says, one day, we'll all be happy and joyous watching this team. It's just not today. Boy, oh boy, yeah. I mean, at what point do we feel like... I kind of feel like I'm Charlie Brown at this point, you know? I mean, honestly... And you know what's funny about that is when I was a kid, I used to think to myself, what an idiot. Honest to God. I've watched this every Christmas. Every single Christmas, I sit down on the couch as a kid, and I watch Charlie Brown go to kick this football, and that kids show pulls the football every time. And here I am. Boy, oh boy, I'm going to get my Reds gear on, and I'm ready to watch all 162 with my man Nick Kirby. And this is the year, baby. May 18th, and I feel like the football has already been pulled. Tim Barnes then chimes in again. He says, being a Reds fan in Philly area code is just, it's not a good idea, I think is what he was trying to say.
They got a rebuild coming.
Do they? We'll see. Big Red Machine says, the Reds have had an awesome April. We're having a miserable May. Let's pray for a joyous June in July after Gino comes back. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're going to do. I just hope it doesn't turn into a jump June. Here we go again. 7777 says, Trace, your audio is low. Trace, your audio is loud. That's why I like the supers, man. They actually make me laugh. It's almost like it's almost therapy a little bit. It actually, I think, is pretty much exactly that. Big Red Machine says, you know how much I love the Big Red Machine. Oh boy, I can't wait to hear about those guys. You know what I'm saying? Look at those guys back there. Could you imagine an infield of Pete Rose and Concepcion and Joe Morgan and Tony Perez? I couldn't. He says, what is the under that no one gets DFA'd until Trevino comes off the IL in 4 weeks? I don't know. I tell you what, Big Red Machine, I have given up on the DFAing of PJ Higgins gets DFA'd 2 weeks later, we DFA somebody we probably somewhat care about because we got to bring him back because Trevino's got a sore thumb. Schmick Schmack says, honestly, think Tito is a big reason why they're bad. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they're bad, but who knows? David Shaw says, fire Tito and make Kirby manager. I don't know. I mean,
I don't want that gig.
You mean David? You mean like we'll even go back farther than that. We'll go to Price, Bell, Francona. Baker did all right. But who else am I missing? I mean, we had them all. There's so many guys. What was that poor guy's soul? I should know these guys' names, and I can't think of it. But seems like the job might be the problem, not the manager. But I still stand on the fact that I think manager is the most overrated thing probably in the history of sports, maybe. But maybe I'm wrong. Last year, Tito got a lot of credit for us winning 83 games, and I'm interested to see what the national media is going to say about this year. They're probably going to blame it on injuries, to be honest. Right?
Probably.
Hunter Green isn't available. Eugenio Suarez isn't available. With his 83.
Oh, Jim Riggleman. I forgot about Jim
Yes,
Riggleman.
that's who I was thinking. Yes, Riggleman.
Chat was all over that, yeah.
Riggleman, he hung around the organization forever. No. Not who was the guy before Riggleman?
Brian Price.
No, there was an intern. There was an interim manager that was in AAA. Maybe was that Riggleman? I don't know. At this point, who gives a rat's tail? But I'll figure.
I think Riggleman was a third base coach, and they fired Price, and he got to take over. I kind of like Jim Riggleman. I thought I was gonna hate him. I thought this guy is like the old school, and I actually kind of liked him. Was a really good bullpen manager. I thought. Nice work of the bullpen.
It's hilarious that you even remember that.
I know the Reds were mad that he played Mason Williams, though. I'll give out a company secret.
At this point, it's so bad I can't even remember. Was it Jerry Narron that I'm thinking of? Pete McKinnon?
I don't remember all the. I can't tell you the order of the early 2000s. There was Dave Miley.
Dave Miley was in there. Bob Boone. Jack McKeon.
Jack McKeon.
Hey.
Jack McKeon was 99.
Hey, over 500 winning record for Jack McKeon, believe it or not. Since then, nobody else. Actually, old Pete. Is it Pete McKinnon? I think that's how you say his last name. I should probably know this, but regardless, we've gotten off the rails on this show already.
We're just reading managers.
We're reading managers' names. We're telling you whether they're 500 or not. That's where we're at. That's where we're at with this team. We're reading managers of all time, Cincinnati Reds history, on May 18th after they just blew a one-run lead in the 8th inning, and that's the best we could do. So that does it for the Super Chats so far. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the like button. That'd be fantastic. And, Nick, I tell you what. I could go for something that would make me happy, like Richter and Phillips.
Yeah, we are proud that today's episode of Chatterbox Reds is brought to you by Richter and Phillips, getting engaged in Cincinnati since 1896. Located just a few blocks from Great American Ballpark in downtown Cincinnati, Richter and Phillips is a family-owned and operated right here in Cincinnati. They're not a chain. They're a local team that's been serving the city for well over a century. Whether you're looking for the perfect engagement ring or shopping for diamonds, Richter and Phillips has the largest selection in the area. Book an appointment using the link in our YouTube or podcast description, or stop by. Walk-ins are always welcome. Shout out to Richter and Phillips.
Yeah. God knows there ain't going to be any rings down at Great American Ballpark, so you better get over to Richter and Phillips as fast as you can. All right. Sal Stewart. It was nice to see him hit a big home run. I think that those are the things that get lost in the game. But at this point, I don't know how many people find those meaningful anymore. Like the good sentimental feeling or the morale win, whatever you want to call it. But Sal Stewart obviously kind of felt like he was struggling, maybe a little bit more than I expected him to struggle, even though I knew he was going to come back down to earth at some point, and that's kind of why I made the joke, like, is the league figuring him out or is he figuring the league back out? That's always the joke that's not even a joke. It's like the guaranteed thing outside of this guy's in the best shape of his life in spring training. You can always guarantee yourself that someone is going to bring up the fact that the league has caught up to somebody after they went on a unbelievable tear at the beginning of their career because, I don't know, they're human and they might not end up being the best baseball player of all time. So I don't know what else to say. Sal's a guy. I mean, he's one of the few guys on this team that I would just stamp with approval. I think you said this 2 years ago or 3 years ago at this point. I don't know, but you said, I'm never going to worry about Elliot De La Cruz. You guys can worry about him. I'm never worrying about Elliot De La Cruz. I'm not worried about Sal Stewart. I'm just not. Now, if you want to argue whether or not his position flexibility is good enough or if can he play third base and do all these things that the Reds might need him to be, I don't know about that, but I know he can hit. And if he can't hit, then I completely give up because I've been wrong on too many guys because it's like I said before, Tyler Stevenson I thought could hit as well, and he is just not hitting. I don't know what happened to him. I think the Monstar stole his powers. We need to figure that out. But I don't know. Sal Stewart, backside, home run, and kudos to him.
It was a big home run, and as I mentioned in the box score recap, first home run in 10 games, only the second in his last 21. So certainly the way this season's trending right now, like how Sal Stewart performs is going to be something that matters about as much as anything because that's going to be a pretty big piece of this team's future. I wouldn't put him in like the Ellie category of not worrying, but he would be like that next tier or whatever that is. Like he's a big leaguer. Now, is he a superstar? I don't know that, but he's a big leaguer. I don't think that. Yeah. I don't have any doubt of that at this point.
Another big swing of the bat that will be forgotten on most people's minds because ultimately the home run by Ashcraft made it a little bit of a null point, but Spencer Steer had the big hit. I mean, he really did. I've told you this countless times off this show as well, Nick, that I think a lot of the fanfare I can understand with Spencer Steer now because of the amount of times he's come up to the plate and he's gotten a big hit. He's gotten big home runs in crucial moments in previous seasons. And tonight's another example where he comes up and he gets a really, really big hit. And also, kudos to us for playing some good baseball there for like a short amount of time. The Reds steal second base. Like, that's a great spot that you have to try to steal second base, Nick. Not something that we probably get brought up a lot on on most postgame shows right now because you lose and you forget about it. But, like, that's winning baseball. That's smart, higher level IQ baseball, and it was nice to see. And it was good to capitalize on the fact that you get a good stolen base out of Matt McLain, and he comes around and he scores on a big hit by Steer, and you think you're cooking with gas, and then ultimately it gets put out. But it's nice to see, if nothing else, I guess, as Steer gets another big hit.
Yeah, and if he's hitting, you're hitting behind Ellie, you have to make the opposing team pay when they bring in a lefty, and Steer's just destroying lefties. I don't even know what his numbers are up to now, but he's been incredible against lefties. This team would be in a really bad spot against southpaws without Steer right now. It was just providing a lot of balance to the lineup. And yeah, it was a big stolen base for Matt McLain. That and it was kind of one of those spots too where if you get thrown out, it is what it is. So yeah, that was a big spot in the game. There also, Trace, I don't know if we talked about this yet, and I wasn't as locked in when it happened. I was kind of watching on the corner of my eyes, get ready. That big non-double play that the ball weakly hit to Cabrian. I don't know if they would have had a chance at first base, but McLain goes to try to turn the double play, and the Phillies, I think it was Stubbs, slid towards McLain, and they didn't call any obstruction on that. It just feels like the Reds never get these calls on their side.
Yeah, and they even got hosed on the replay call that I called out earlier in the game too, and I don't want to really bring up at length on this show, but I mean, it's just ridiculous. The replay process is so it's so mesmerizing at times because, like, at one point I'm like, okay, I get it. this stuff, it has to be clear and obvious, or else they're not going to overturn the call because it just stands. It stands. I've seen that call 1,000 times against the Reds, and then it's like, then all of a sudden against us, and again, I can't point to the specific moment. I think it was even against the Cubs. But it's like, all right, that's too close. Like that's too close to overturn. This time we're going to get the stands call. And they're like, no, they overturn it. And I'm like, wait, like now I'm confused and I'm a little pissed because I've seen stands called on the Reds 1,000 times. Like that, if that's not clear and obvious, then I don't know what is. And I know that's not the situation you're talking about with the interference with McLean. I don't know. And to be fair, I probably should brush up on maybe a little bit more of the baseball rules that exist today. If Matt McLean is interfered there, it would have been a huge call, obviously. I personally, when I watched it live, I didn't think anything of it, but I also didn't think anything of the fact that when McLean was blocking the bag that one time that we caught a guy stealing to second base, and they ultimately said he was blocking the bag. He wasn't blocking the bag. So then now I, again, go back to the whole, rules. I don't know what the hell is what anymore when it comes to some of these player safety things that they try to implement. It looked like a clean, hard slide. At least that's what it would have been back in the day. But to be fair, Nick, I don't know if that was the right judgment of what the rule is today. But there's no doubt it would have made a difference in the game. I mean, that's obvious. That's obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I like I said, I didn't get a great look at it. It's just like, man, can the Reds ever get one of these calls? It's brutal.
Well, it would have been nice if they made the call. And again, like I'd have to go back and watch the replay again, but in my opinion, it wouldn't surprise me based off the way in which the rules seem to be written now, that if you go outside of what you're trying to accomplish at all, if you're not going directly into the bag, then you could be called for obstruction. And to be honest with you, as I watched the play, it looked like a slide like they did 10, 15 years ago, where you're just kind of sliding in the general area of the bag, not directly into the bag, but you're sliding in the general area of the bag, and you try to wipe out the second baseman as cleanly as you can, unless your name's Chase Utley, of course. Then you can just take guys out legs completely. But, Nick, we've had to do too many of these shows in a row. You lose, I don't even know what it is. Is it 13 of the last 16 games?
4-13 in last 17.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm not a magician, Not a magician. I can't come up with talking points every single night when they're the same ones. I can't. And I want to scream and yell at times, but and I know there's a certain population, a certain percentage of people who watch the show that are waiting for me to do that, and that just has to come organically. And I'll be honest with you, I've been defeated a little bit. I don't know what to get upset about anymore because the bullpen isn't very good. The starting pitching hasn't been very good. The hitting, like you had mentioned, they've actually come alive of late. They switched up the order countless times. I've become numb to the fact that TJ Friedl is going to continue to get opportunities despite how he looks, despite what happens. And that's not even me to say that it needs to be people think I'm a Benson stan. Dude, put Blake Dunn in there at this point. I don't give a damn. I really don't. I don't care. You want to call up Marte and put him in center field? That's better. That's better. I'd rather do that. Hell, I'd rather bring up Hector Rodriguez, dude. Honestly, I don't care who it is. I'm not playing a favorite here. I'm playing an anti-favorite. That's what I'm playing. I'm tired of seeing the guy. I'm just done with it. I've seen enough of it. Every time I see it, I laugh. Like something's going to change.
Yeah, I think a lot of other players, if they would have had an at-bat like he had in the top of the seventh, there would have been hell to pay for it.
Yeah, you're talking about the at-bat that he swung at 4 pitches outside the zone. And he struck out. So, I don't know. What can you do? What you can do is you can jump into Reds MILB. We have some super chats to get to here in a minute. We will get to those as we end this show. I promise you that. But before we get to those, we are going to do Reds MIL because there are minor leagues, and I don't know, maybe who's the team this year? Who can we start doing? Like I said, we'll just change it around. We'll jump on a bandwagon, Nick.
We got some good minor league stuff here, but first we're going to make sure we let you know that Reds Minor League is presented by 78 Cigars. Cincinnati legend Anthony Munoz is a new venture, and we're fired up to partner with it here on Chatterbox Reds. Introducing 78 Cigars, a premium cigar line from the Hall of Famer himself. If you love great cigars in Cincinnati football history, this is the perfect combination. You can grab 78 Cigars at both Montgomery and locations or over at Creekside Cigar Company. You can also check them out online. Just head to anthonymunoz.com, click on the 78 Cigars page, and learn more or place your order today. That's 78 Cigars from the greatest offensive lineman to ever do it, Anthony Munoz. All right. We're going to the fourth inning out in Arizona. The ACL Reds lead the ACL Padres 7-0.
Wow.
Steele Hall is 2 for 2. Hit his third home run of the season over the fence. Over the fence, too. You always have to check
Three of them over the fence?
Two over the fence.
Okay,
One was an inside the Parker. So this is a second legit home run.
Wow.
He's playing well. Ty Floyd, 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts for Ty Floyd. So he's pitching very well. Great to see him after battling through so many injuries. Also, Eli Pitts, Reds' 5th round pick last year, making his pro debut today. He is 1 for 2 with a double. So some good stuff there. Nabil Mariano has a hit. Jervin Moriallo has a hit. So good stuff out in Arizona. They're the only team playing today. All the other minor league teams are off as this Monday.
That's great. I am thankful to hear that the ACL Reds have found a way to be competitive. That is good news for us as Cincinnati Reds fans, because as we know, those guys are coming right around the corner. And the other thing to know is, like, it kind of feels like the high school coach right now that's on his like 7th, maybe his 7th beer after a Friday night loss when they just lost their 8th straight game of the season and they lost by 30. And someone walks up and says, though, I got to tell you, I stopped by the 3rd grade CYO league. We got some real talent down there, coach. Let me tell you. They'll be up here in no time. He's looking at his clock like, I'll either be dead or retired before those boys get to the league.
It is really good to see Steele Hall off to a good start. OPS over 1,000. I mean, I think like most people thought like it would be a very, very slow development for him offensively. We're at a very small sample, but I would have hammered the under on 3 home runs in his first 11 games in Arizona, even 2 over the fence in his first 11 games. So that's cool to see, and it'll matter at some point. Hopefully, we're still doing a show when it does.
Yeah. Yeah. Debbie Brown's not happy with me. She's upset. I get it. I'm upset too. I'm upset too. I mean, listen, Debbie, here's my thought. I'll be honest with you. If someone came to me tomorrow because I jaywalked in the street and they said, hey, you got 2 options. You can either serve a month in the Butler County jail where they're going to feed you every night, let you read in peace on your own, or you can do a Red show for the next 30 days and have to watch TJ Friedel play baseball. I'm choosing the jail 100 times out of 100. I'm serious. And yeah, maybe I do have a problem about the TJ Friedel thing, and I know I bring him up every single night, but golly day. I mean, he just is terrible, but we move on. All right.
We did have we had an important question in the chat.
What's up?
Someone wanted to know about the DSL Reds. Opening day is June 1st. So don't worry. When the DSL Reds are in action, we'll cover it here. They don't really have a whole lot of top prospects out in the Dominican League this year. They sent most of them to Arizona, but we'll follow whatever's out there.
You know, when you say the DSL Reds, it always makes me immediately think of like some internet situation. I don't know. It's like, it sounds like DSL Reds. Yeah. Coming to you at $19.99 a month. 100 megabytes upload speed. All right. I've lost my rocker. All right. We have who, what, when, where, and why. And then, of course, we have some lovely supers to get to. Nick, there is more baseball to be played, my friend.
Thank God. All right. Well, Chase Burns going for the Reds. That's always a good sign. Reason to tune in. 6:40 p.m. Tuesday night. Reds.tv.
He's
Chatterbox
going up against
Reds
Jesus of all things. Golly, we're hosed.
Jesus Luzardo, the left-handed pitcher for the Phillies. Tough start to the year, 3-3 with a 5.07 ERA. But does have a 2.91 FIP, striking out over 11 batters per 9 innings. At his last start at the Boston Red Sox, 6 innings, 0 runs. Finished 7th in the National League Cy Young voting in 2025. 1-2 with a 4.85 career ERA against your Reds. Last year, only lasted 2 innings in his lone start against the Reds. Gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned. Active Reds against Luzardo are 8 for 25. It's a 325 average. Tyler Stephenson's 2 for 4. Spencer Steer 1 for 1 with a double. Brian Hayes is 1 for 5. Nathaniel Lowe is 0 for 5. So, yeah, Chase Burns, the name you want to see.
Is there a point where we could perhaps turn this into kind of like softball, where there's one pitcher that throws almost every single game? Because then at that point, I think there's a chance we'd be competitive. Just saying. Big Red Machine did say he'd love seeing John Boy lip read Nick Kirby arguing with an ump after getting tossed. I could die a happy man. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm not sure Nick would be an argue of umpires. He probably would just challenge things.
I think I could turn into David Bell. I think I'd be like the most calm person, then something would just set me off, and I'd just like turn into another person.
Yeah, that's why they came out with body cams too, Nick. Jake Warner said, our only hope is to move TJ back to lead off and Matt back to second. We were winning games then. That's a good one. I like that, Jake. I like that one. Andrew Scobie says, Nick, in fairness, don't you want to keep the hot hand in the game in that situation? I mean, he had 5 outs up until that point.
You're hot till you're not. I'm sure Graham's feeling very hot right now.
Sean Krucka says, insert Jem Halpert's meme. I just want it to stop. David Shaw says the Reds have lost 15 of 20. I think that's probably back when I was sitting there trying to figure out how many they lost, and I was like, they've lost 13 in the last 16. He just wanted to let me know. 15 in the last 20. Fantastic. Coolio says, what's a guy got to do to get a Navy 1911 Reds Uni inspired Chatterbox t-shirt since I can't find a jersey anywhere? Now, that's a pretty specific request. I don't know. I don't know that answer. I'd like to sit here, Coolio. I'd like to say that we could whip one up, but I don't know. The presses are the presses for making Reds t-shirts right now is turned off, my friend. Schmick Schmack says, ignore Debbie. We love your TJ rants. I'm done. I promise. I don't want to upset Debbie. I'm done with the TJ ranting. I've been beaten into a pulp. I need a couple wins in a row, guys. That's what I need. I just need a couple wins in a row. And if that happens, then it's like, okay, you can win me back a little bit. I can start to believe a little again. It doesn't take a whole lot, Nick. I just need
Here's what's going to happen.
I just need some flowers.
You're going to get it. You're going to get it on Friday, and you're going to get it on Saturday against the St. Louis Cardinals, and they're going to lose on Sunday when we come back.
Yeah, of course. I just need some flowers, you know? I'm looking for the spouse right now that probably, you know, comes home late all the time, isn't there when they say they're going to be there, tell you that they're going to show up to the kid event. They don't show up to the kid event. rumors are swirling around town that they might be, not being a very loyal person. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. And then they knock on the door. They show up. They have flowers. They say they're sorry. And like, that's me with the Reds. I'll be back in. I just need a little help. If I got to do too many more shows like this, I mean, they're going to be the worst shows of all time in Chatterbox Reds history because I am out of talking points. I'm out of them. I need some help. We need some fun things to talk about. I don't got them. Nick, do you got anything?
Do you want me to talk for 10 more minutes about Steel Hall? That's about all I got left in the tank.
Oh, that'd be 10 minutes wasted on May 18th of 2026. Wasted might be a strong word, but,
Oh, he got another hit. 3 for 3. Doubled.
Steel Hall. What a guy. Steel Hall.
Put him in the Reds Hall of Fame.
Coming to a big league stadium near you in 2034. Shout out to Steel. Nick, I don't know what else to say. At this point in this show, I'm going to tell everybody this. I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I would like to do better on this show. I wish there was something more I could say. I wish I could get so mad that I could rip off the monitor that's to my left right now because this team isn't. But you know what? They just suck. That's what they are right now. They're a sucky team. And hopefully they don't do that forever. Like, there's a chance we could figure that out. I'm waiting for the day that does. Like, it's possible that it could be tomorrow. It's possible it could be tomorrow. So you know what? We're all going to go to bed. We're going to wake up. We're going to watch the Reds game and hope that it is tomorrow. Because you never know when a career could turn around. You never know when a season could turn around. Nick?
It's been a pleasure.
I'm going to let you go watch that Game 7 that you're just so riveted in hockey that I have no clue it even exists, but hope it turns out well for you. All right? Till tomorrow, take care. Like the stream if you haven't already. Very, very much appreciative of all you that tune in. It's time to go. Smoke Justice. Check it out. If you're interested, mark it on the calendars. You know what? I don't care if the Reds lose every single game until Chatterbox Reds night. I need to see some people. We need to go and we can have an in-person therapy session together on June 2nd at Smoke Justice. See you there.